Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. It's 1:32 p.m. on May 23rd, 2024. Welcome to the Seminole County Regular Code Enforcement Board meeting for May of this year. We're going to start first by asking the clerk to do a roll call, please.
Dennis Warren.
Here.
Catherine Townsend.
Here.
Dudley Bates.
Here.
Kevin Ross Andino.
Here.
Mike Sinan.
Here.
Craig Davis.
Here.
Yvette Brown.
Here.
Thank you. Next, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. If I can get everybody to stand, and if you're going to be speaking today, remain standing after so we can get you sworn in. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And if you remain standing, if you're going to be speaking as a respondent or a witness, and raise your right hand, and the clerk will swear you in here.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Thank you. And we have
Ma'am, did you swear it yourself? Yes, okay, thank you.
a couple of suggestions here to change the agenda so we can take the persons that are present today, those cases first, followed by the others in that particular order, which would mean I would recommend that we change the agenda and start today's meeting with Item number 2, gosh, I don't have the page numbers, but it's case number 24-12 CEB Makisha C. Bland. That would be followed by, these 3 items are the same respondent. Item 24-39, 24-40, and 24-41 CEB Celinda D. and Eric L. Johnson. For those 3 items, those are items number 8, 9, and 10, followed by,
That's not what we have here.
No,
it's,
that's,
okay,
Mr. Chairman, that's not what we have in the
okay.
books.
3,
So far, you've called out items 1, 3, and 5.
All right, give me one moment.
So far, you've called out items 1, 3, and 5. There is no more 24-40.
right.
That's-
Actually, 24-40 is on page 8 of 10.
Okay, okay.
What?
It was, yeah, it's at the,
Complied.
it's not going to be heard.
So which one?
It's after number 11 for some.
It's at the end of the agenda, but the other 2, I believe, are.
Implied prior to hearing.
But the-
Okay.
The first 2 are. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
24-20 is on page 8 of 10.
Okay, so yeah, 39 is on page 8. Is that on your page 8?
It's on my page 2.
39 is on page 2, 40 is on page 8.
Okay, so let's speak the agenda.
41 is on page 2.
Okay, so. So first case that's going to be heard is 24-12, which is Makisha Bland, which is item number 1 on page 1. The next cases are going to be 2439 and 2441, which are on page 2, items 3 and 5, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the last 2 cases are under your lien consent cases, 2414 and 2415, Shannon Creamer. And so that looks like it's items 9 and 10 on pages 6 and 7,
Correct.
correct?
That requires a motion, so moved.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you. So we have a motion, I believe, by Mr. Simon and second by Ms. Townsend to change the agenda, taking those 3 respondents in those cases first, and then we'll follow it by the rest of the cases. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'm going to do a brief introduction. So when your case is called, you'll stand, you'll come to the table where this respondent is sitting. If you are here also as a witness, and I believe your first case has the lender, she's going to also sit at that table. The county has the burden of proof, therefore the county presents their case first. The respondent will then have an opportunity to present their case. Please limit your comments solely to the allegations made by the county. The board will make their decision based on all the relevant evidence and testimony presented here today. These matters are being electronically recorded, so it's important that you speak directly into the microphone at the center of the podium. Please make sure all phones, all cell phones and pagers are turned off or silenced while in chambers. If you need assistance due to some sort of hearing impairment or a language barrier, please advise us at the beginning of your hearing. Okay?
Thank you. And again, this particular case that we're hearing first is case number 24-12 CEB Makisha C. Bland, 401 Basewood Lane, Altamont Springs, Florida 32701. And Officer Adair, before you get going, could you identify yourself starting over here, please?
Makesha Yvonne Cynthia Bland.
Thank you. And ma'am?
Amanda Murphy, counsel for the for the lender.
Thank you. Okay, Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
All right. Officer Adair, Seminole County Code Enforcement South Region. This is case number 24-12-CEB. The respondent is Makisha Bland.
Makesha.
I'm presenting a copy of the PowerPoint to the clerk, Exhibit A. So again, this is case 24-12-CEB. The respondent is Makisha C. Bland. Makesha C. Bland. And the property is located at 401 Basewood Lanes, Seminole County, Florida. The violation being charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A, rubbish. So my initial inspection was on 6/13/2023, notices to respondent, or on 6/20/2023, and 7/13/2023. Compliance dates were 7/7/2023 and 7/27/2023. I conducted follow-up inspections starting on 6/20/23 and ended on yesterday, 5/22/2024. Follow-up inspection results were the rubbish violation remains. This is a digital image of my first inspection all the way on 6/20/2023. Follow-up inspection and images on 7/10/2023. Follow-up inspection on 7/31/2023. Follow-up inspection on 8/17/2023. This was another inspection. The cardboard was removed, but it was replaced with wood and debris and moss, and the vegetation was a little ungrown. This was the data posting on 5/10/2024. The tree debris and moss still remained. This was an inspection yesterday. The debris still remain. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on testimony and evidence presented in the case number 24-12 CEB. It is determined that the respondent is Makisha C. Bland, is the owner and record of property located at 401 Basewood Lane, located in Seminole County as determined by the property appraiser's records. She is in possession or control of the property and is in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A. It is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of June 7th, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove the miscellaneous debris and rubbish from the yard. If the respondent doesn't comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact me to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Adair?
I just have a quick question. So it was the tree branches and the moss, and it used to be cardboard?
Correct.
Okay.
Can you tell us what the origin of this complaint is?
It was a complaint I got via email on my first day. So I think it was Officer Bavaro that had it and gave it to me.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, this is your opportunity to respond to that. You saw the recommendation is giving the respondent until June 7th of this year to get it rectified, or there be a fine of $100 per day. That's what's being considered up here. Ma'am, we'll start with you if you would like to address it.
I'm not sure when this officer came out to my property, but my property doesn't look like that. I have pictures here. He always comes on the worst days when my lawnmower was broke or something like that. The debris and all that stuff is cleaned up, and I have pictures to show that. Then yesterday, he posted this on my door. The same officer, Adar, he's saying that he doesn't have anything to do with it, but he is. It's constant harassment from them, nonstop. And it's like it's a fetish of theirs. I don't know why.
What's in your hand? Just tell me.
This is another violation, omitted use of RV. I have an RV in my backyard.
Okay.
It been moved, and I moved it back. I use it when I'm traveling or going
All right, so
anywhere.
that's not before you today, that's a separate issue. Unfortunately, if you want to show the board your pictures, they would have to take the phone and become a part of the court file. And so I don't think you can see her picture, but it looks as though she believes she's in compliance. The time period should be okay for them to schedule an appointment and she and the officer do a walkthrough to confirm whether she is in
If I
compliance
can
or
deal with
not.
another officer, I would love to. This officer has nothing but harassed me constantly. I'm getting this paper decked out in my front yard like I'm having an auction going on. Then I'm getting mail constantly on different dates in my mailbox, constantly, from these people.
Okay. In relation to the particular complaint, the debris and the rubbish that needs to be cleaned up, you have anything else?
There's no rubbish or debris, and these are other,
You can't show on pictures, they're going to take the phone, okay? So they're listening to your testimony.
okay?
Okay?
So I want to know where I can submit this and not to those officers.
Well, this board is hearing testimony and evidence today, so those pictures needed to be printed out and referred to today.
That wasn't
How-
any instructions that I had here.
Okay. So you can believe her testimony. At the end of the day, the officer's the only one that can close out her case, so they have to make a meeting. His supervisor's right there, who I'm sure would be more than happy to make the appointment, and all three of you do a walkthrough if that's necessary. But you have to make the decision on whether the property's in violation or not.
Okay. Do we have questions as well for Ms. Bland, is it? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Ms. Bland.
Is there a reason why the cardboard was there and the
To
limbs
kill
were
the
there?
grass around the fence line, then I burnt it to get the grass from growing around the fence line, because I'm planning on putting bushes there.
Any other?
So in your opinion, I mean, if we agreed to a compliance date by June 7th, you believe that you will be in compliance by that date? That's because that's really what we're being asked to consider, not whether you're there today.
If my compliance has to be involving those officers, they're going to say I'm not in compliant. So we're going to be back here again.
Well, let's just try to get clear on what it is you need to do. You can't, unfortunately, you can't pick your officer. It's,
Right.
just like if you called the police for something. Officer Dare, to clarify for me, when was the last time you were out there? You showed several pictures. She's saying it doesn't look like that. Did you have a picture, a recent picture?
Yesterday's inspection,
Was
and
there
I
a
spoke
picture?
with her
Ma'am,
daughter.
Give me just a moment, please. Was there a picture from
That's
yesterday?
right there.
Those two right there.
Okay.
And I spoke with her daughter, informing her that the code board hearing was today, and she said, yes, my mom's not here, but she's going to attend.
And it looks like it's on, I guess, the picture to the right. It's the stuff over on the right that looks like a logs or something?
Yes. Tree debris from, I'm assuming, the tree above.
Ma'am, do you see what's in at least that second picture for the moment?
And a tree just recently fell on my house.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
irregardless, that's
Okay.
what he saw yesterday when he was out there, so
Okay.
that's the issue. You don't dispute what we're looking at right there.
That's to separate the grass that I'm trying to get the bushes to grow in.
I understand, but that's the photo he took of the issue. So whatever the purpose of it is,
I just want the harassment to stop.
Okay, yeah.
Putting new notices on my door.
yeah, and let me just say, there's due process that
Right.
is afforded to everybody that these officers deal with. And he doesn't make these things up, but there's a hanger there, it's because he has to put a hanger in, so forth and so on. We won't go into everything, but in any case, so it looks like, I think we're somewhat clear. I think the suggestion was that's a reasonable time frame.
I have a
and-
question.
Yes, ma'am.
So as we look at this picture, you're saying that whatever this is that fell in your yard is there today. And so my question would be, they've recommended June 7th. Can you have this cleaned up by then?
Yeah.
And be in compliance in your front yard?
Yes.
Okay?
And I can't have a log separating the grass? What needs to be cleaned up? I'm not understanding.
The
Because
logs,
I know for a fact, people use logs to separate their grass from their fence, and they put trees in front of it. So what needs to be cleaned up? I'm confused.
all of the miscellaneous debris, such as the logs, it's in the code specifically mentioned as lumber. So if you can go ahead and remove all that, there is nothing,
Can you show me what needs to be removed? Because this debris right here, I've seen a lot of people have logs go around their fence. So is it, this is what you want me to clean up?
all of that, yes,
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
Including the logs.
including the
Why?
Including the logs, because
Why
that's
the
what the
logs?
ordinance says. You cannot have logs.
I have a question. Is there, if these were aligned in a perfectly straight line in a, whatever distance she chose from the fence, would that be allowed? And if the answer is no, do you have a suggestion on what she should put there in order to accomplish what she's trying to accomplish, which is separate the grass from the bushes?
So no, it still wouldn't be allowed, but a garden, she can plant that along the fence line, that's fine. But it's been almost a year now and no garden has arisen, so.
Do you have any suggestions for her on what she could legally put in order to separate the two?
I cannot give advice on that.
Thank you.
I do want to bring to your attention, I am in a HOA, so he can't just make up his rules. So if my HOA say I can have a log in my front yard to separate my bushes, that's what I can have.
You're incorrect, but we can't give her legal advice. You have to make a decision.
Okay, well, that's what the issue is, that's what needs to be cleaned up. And sounds like you acknowledge that's there, and the date will work for you. Ma'am, from the bank, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Amanda Murphy, and we're just here to monitor the status of the violations and any fines that are imposed. But our mortgage has been in default. We haven't been able to file a case because of bankruptcy, automatic stay. So we're just here to monitor for our interests in that, in the
Okay.
property.
Okay, any other questions for any party, anyone?
No, I'll just move that we accept staff's recommendation. She sounds like she can fix it by June 7th, so we accept staff's recommendation as proposed.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Bates. All to accept staff's recommendation as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's what we've done. We found that there was a violation, there is a violation that it seems pretty simple, straightforward, what you need to do. Sounds like you can do it. Just call either Officer Adair or his supervisor or both, and they will meet you to confirm it's done. Hopefully we'll be done with this.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Okay, moving on to our next case. There's two cases for this respondent. It's on the next page. Item number 3, case number 24-39, CEB, Celinda and Eric L. Johnson at 2016 Williams Avenue in Sanford, 32771. Same respondent, same address, case number 24-41 CEB. And Officer Henson, if you want to cover both of those, and we'll go from there.
Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement, Shannon Henson, North Region. For the record, I'm going to submit a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case number is 2439 CEB, Celinda D. Johnson and Eric L. Johnson at 2016 Williams Avenue. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A, rubbish. The first inspection was June 22nd, 2023. Notice of a response was for June 26th, 2023. September 18th, 2023, with compliance dates of July 11th, 2023, and October 3rd, 2023. My follow-up inspections started July 19, 2023, and ended yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. The results of the follow-up inspection, the violation of rubbish remains on the property. This image was taken on my first inspection in June 2023. The next one is also the same date. And then this was July 19th, 2023. And also the same date is taken. This was August 22nd, 2023 by myself. And the next, also the same date. This is September 5th, 2023. And September 5th, 2023. This was September 15th, 2023. And September 15th, 2023. This was taken on October the 26th, 2023. And October 26th, 2023. This is 11/17/2023. And again, the same date. And this was December 6th, 2023. December 6th, 2023. And this photo was taken January 10th, 2024. And same date. This one was February 21st, 2024. Also same date. And this was March 25th, 2024. March 25th, 2024. And this was taken May 8th, 2024, when I did the posting of hearing. And this was taken yesterday. And the suggestion recommended by the code enforcement officer, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2439 CEB, it is determined that the respondents Linda D. Johnson and Eric L. Johnson are the owner of record of the property located at 2016 Williams Avenue, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's record, in possession or control of the property, and are in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondents to correct the violation on or before midnight of June 7, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove all the rubbish from the subject property. If the respondent does not comply to the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after this compliance date. They can arrange an inspection with me to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. And the second, 40, that was 40, that was,
39.
that was, yeah, that was 39, right? And do you want to go ahead and cover?
41.
Yeah, 41.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Hinson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement, North Region. For the record, I'm submitting this copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case is case number 24-41 CEB, Celinda D. Johnson and Eric L. Johnson. This property is 2060 Williams Avenue. The violation charge is Seminole County, Chapter 95, Chapter 95.4 is defined in 95.3E, abandoned or junked vehicles. My first inspection was June 22nd, 2023, with the first notice of June 26th, 2023, September 18th, 2023, with compliance dates of July 11th, 2023, and October 3rd, 2023. Follow-up inspections were July 19th, 2023, and yesterday was my last follow-up appointment, which was May 22nd, 2024. The results of the follow-up inspection, the violation of abandoned or junk vehicles remains on the property. This was taken by me June 22nd, 2023. This was July 19th, 2023. This was August 22nd, 2023. September 5th, 2023. Now, this same day, this was September 15th, 2023. This was October 26th, 2023. November 17th, 2023. November 17th, 2023. And this was December 6th, 2023. January 10th, 2024. February 21st, 2024. March 25th, 2024. And this was when I did my posting on May 8th, 2024. And this was taken yesterday on May 22nd, 2024. The suggested recommendation by the Code Enforcement Officer is based on the testimony evidence presented in case number 24-41 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Celinda D. Johnson and Eric L. Johnson, are the owner of record of the property located at 2016 Williams Avenue, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records. In possession or control of the property and are in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondents to correct the violation on or before midnight of June 7, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondents must remove all inoperable vehicles or store them in an enclosed garage or permanent structure. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $100 a day will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. They can arrange an inspection with me to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson?
Yeah, I do. Can you, in looking at those pictures, are we only looking at the reddish vehicle? Is that the only violation that you're showing us there?
Yeah.
I think the other-
This is the vehicle case that I'm doing. The other one was for rubbish, and the one that is already in compliance was vegetation.
So the pickup truck's not an issue, the dark black, it looks like, is that a issue that also? How many abandoned vehicles are we talking about that need to be removed?
There was probably 4, like, they're parts. There was like 2 full ones
We get
and
to
about
this.
3 or 4 half ones.
Okay,
But the black vehicle appears to be in a different spot every time, I'm assuming it's,
It was on the other side of the property, and then it was moved to this side, but the tires are flattened, so it didn't quite look like it was operable. I did speak to the violator yesterday, and he said it could be operational.
Ms. Townsend, did you?
I wanted to make sure I counted, that slide went by pretty quickly. So from last June, you've made 13 visits to this property? Thank you. Wanted to make sure I understood that.
And so, okay, the vehicles should be easy to identify. There was like a yard trailer, that's not included in this since it's not motorized, I'm guessing, or I don't know. I just want to be clear for them when they go back.
It still has flat tires. There was a couple of them.
can you put the slide back up from yesterday, please? The trailer that the vehicle is sitting on, is that also a violation?
That was in the yard. I was notified this afternoon when the violators reported here that was taken away last night.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Officer Henson? Okay. I'm sorry, could you identify yourself one at a time?
Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson, and your relation, you're one of the, okay, and ma'am?
Celinda Johnson.
Thank you very much. There's 2 cases here today, same address. We'll call one the rubbish case and one the abandoned vehicle case, whether they're abandoned, whatever. So it's the vehicles and the rubbish. That's what we're here. So you've heard the recommendations to correct both violations by June 7th. It's your opportunity to speak to both situations.
The vehicles, they'll be in compliance by the 7th. Actually, the vehicle, the red car is actually gone. They came and picked it up last night. The black truck, I just got to find the keys for it. Everything was my dad's own. He started cleaning up, then he got sick, so I started taking over for him, started cleaning up. But then he was in and out the hospital, in and out of nursing homes. So then he finally passed. So I've actually been trying to get everything in compliance.
Yes, as of March 18th, he passed away, so we've been trying to help out and clear out this land or this property.
Do you live at the property now?
No.
No, he didn't live at that one. No.
You do not live there currently?
No, I don't. No, I have my own house. That was all of his property. It was his property.
We were estates of that property.
I guess my question is pretty simple. I mean, can you comply with all of this by June 7th?
Well, like I said, the cars I would say probably the middle of June, maybe the 20th of June for the rubbish, and I can have all of that gone. But as far as the vehicles, they're gone, so.
You said June the what for the rubbish?
Probably the 20th, probably like another month, I can have all the rubbish gone. 'Cause I've actually been there every day cleaning up.
Officer Mr. Henson, do you have anything to add in regards to their request? It sounds like they're requesting for a little more time for the rubbish.
That's up to the board.
Okay.
I'd like to take, is it okay to take these out of order? Can I take up the junked vehicle
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
I'd like to move that we accept staff recommendation on the junked vehicle, compliance by June 7th, with a fine of $100 a day after that if it's not complied with.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Ms. Townsend to accept staff's recommendation as presented, finding that there was a violation. This is in regards to case number 24-41 CEB regarding the junked or abandoned vehicles. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I oppose. I was going to give discussion. but
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there.
I consider, this is just for considering for the board. It's not their home, and someone passed away. I think June 2nd is unreasonable to have people who are trying to clean up after someone's death. I don't see a reason why we can't give them to July. That's just my own personal feeling that, been in there, done that myself, and I think giving them another month is not going to kill us. And so I was just going to propose a July date to give them another month to be able to.
I might agree to that on the other one, but he said he could have the vehicles gone by the
That's fine.
7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vehicles, that's fine. Like I said, the vehicles are gone. So the black truck is there. It is operable. I just have to find the keys for it.
Okay.
But I still don't agree, so
Okay.
it carried, so that's
Okay,
fine.
okay. So that motion carries one nay on 2441. And the other case is 2439 CEB. This deals with rubbish. Is there a motion? Do we have a motion?
We have not had a motion yet.
Okay.
I'm ready to make one.
Okay, go.
I'd like to move that we accept staff's recommendation and give them until July 7 to comply with this order. Does that seem reasonable? And I'm happy to amend if that doesn't seem reasonable, but does that seem?
I think that's
I'm
right.
hoping that's
No,
reasonable.
I would second that one.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're nodding their head. That works for them.
Yes, that's
So,
That'll work.
on case number,
This is 39.
yeah, case number 24-39 CEB, motion on the table by Mr. Simon, accept staff's find there was a violation, accept staff's recommendation as presented, however, moving the compliance date to July 7th, or $100 a day fine. And that was seconded
I second it.
by Mr. Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that's what we've done. Get to June 7th on the vehicle, whatever may be left, and then you get to July 7th on the rubbish.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you for what you're doing and
Thank
coming
you.
in
All right,
today.
thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Brings us to the next case on the same page. No, we just did that one. Brings us to things on the lien request.
We should be at 24-36, I believe, item 2.
No, I think we're at
Page 6.
24-14.
Oh, okay, I'm
Page-
sorry.
Page
Sorry.
6, item number 9. This is on the lien request, 24-14 CEB Shannon O. Creamer, 809 Cherokee Circle, Sanford, Florida, 32773. And Ms. Officer Henson, yes.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement. For the record, I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. Case number 24-14 CEB Shannon Kramer at 809 Cherokee Circle. Violation charged with Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.3 as defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. These are my multiple inspections. The first one was August 15th, 2022, with follow-up ones September 6th, 2022, November 7th, 2022, and January 10th, 2022, with compliance dates of 9/23/2022, November 22nd, 2022, and January 25th, 2022. My final inspection was yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. The result of the follow-up, the violation of uncultivated vegetation remains on the property. This was my posting on March 8th, 2024. This was taken March 27th, 2024, and May 3rd, 2024, and May 13th, 2024 for my posting of the lien hearing. This was taken yesterday by myself. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony evidence presented in this case, number 24-14. It is determined that the respondent, Shannon Kramer, is the owner of record of the property located at 809 Cherokee Circle, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's record, in possession or control, and is in violation of Seminole County Chapter 95, Section 95.4, defined in 95.3B. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law and order, issued on March 28, 2024, I am requesting that the Code Enforcement Board to issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $1,350 for 27 days of noncompliance from April 27, 2024 through and including May 23rd, 2024, and that fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day that the violation continues or is repeated after May 23, 2024.
Thank you. And let's go ahead into the second one. We'll let you present that, and then we'll hear them individually.
Wait, I have a question on this one before you do. Is that all right?
Yes.
Did I read correctly, this was initiated in August of '22? Is that what I saw on that slide?
That's what I wrote down, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, wanted to make sure.
It was during hurricane times.
Okay.
Okay, if you want.
The next case?
Yes.
Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement, Shannon Henson, Code Enforcement North Region. For the record, I'm going to submit a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. Case number 2415 CEB, Shannon O. Kramer, the property 809 Cherokee Circle. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3C, remains or rubble of a structure. My initial inspection was August 15th, 2023, with the notice of September 6th, 2023, November 7th, 2020, that was 22, sorry, September 6th, 2022, November 7th, 2022, and January 10th, 2022. The compliance dates were September 23, 2022, November 23, 2022, and January 25th, 2023. I did follow-up inspections. My last inspection was yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. Results of the follow-up inspection, the violation of remains or rubble of a structure remains on the property. This was my first posting for the hearing, was May 8th, 2024. This was March 27th, 2024, May 3rd, 2024. This was when I posted for the lien hearing on May 13th, 2024, and this picture was taken yesterday. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 24-15 CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Shannon Kramer, is the owner of the property located at 809 Cherokee Circle, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3C. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law and order, issued on March 28, 2024, I am recommending that the Code Enforcement Board to issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $2,700 for 27 days of noncompliance from April 27th through and including May 23rd, 2024, and that the fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day that the violation continues or is repeated after May 23rd, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson on this one?
I just have one question. So it's either the structure has to be removed or repaired, because it looks like an abandoned, broken roof building, so what is it? Is it supposed to be the whole thing removed, or was the?
It could be
repaired?
removed or it can be fenced.
Okay. Fenced? Okay.
And if, I'm trying to remember, I know we've already heard this case, but was this the roof that was collapsing or something, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, can I have you identify yourself, then?
Shannon Kramer.
Okay, and this is your opportunity to speak to both of these cases. We'll call one the inculted vegetation and the other one the remains and rubble of a structure. So if you want to, and again, we're not to hear the case all over again, but whether or not we should put a lien, it's still out of compliance, and whatever your thoughts are.
Understood. Yeah, the house is being sold. Contract was signed on May 3rd with Florida Cash Home Buyers. We've got a projected closing date on or before June 10th. So it is in the process of being sold. The inspection has happened. My understanding had been that signing the contract would essentially stop the clock. If that's not the case, then of course I will pay the fees through the time that the title changes hands.
You say there's a closing date set?
It was supposed to be within 30 days. There was a brief delay on getting the inspection done because I was in Tampa for work. But yeah, we signed the contract on May 3rd. There was an extension of 1 week. So yeah, June 10th.
Was this a vacant house? I'm trying to remember.
It is currently vacant. It was my house. I lived in it. It was damaged in the storms. There was a long, drawn-out fight with the insurance company that did not go my way. I'm living elsewhere right now because of the condition of the house, and now it's being sold.
Okay, so that's what we have. We're here to decide whether, and we'll take these one at a time. Again, this is the uncultured vegetation. We'll go ahead, I guess we'll take first.
Did you, just a quick question, did you bring this contract at all to today's
I have it on
meeting?
I have it on my phone. I didn't have a chance to print it out. The notice went to the buyer, not me, so.
She did send me a copy of it, but we have to have a certificate of title before we can close it for it to be somebody else's property.
And they are aware they are pulling the permits to complete the repairs as soon as the sale is completed.
And did I see a dumpster in one of those photos? Is there a
Yes,
dumpster
so there's a
currently on the
dumpster there
property?
currently as I'm emptying out the yard vegetation and the last of the property in the house.
Thank you.
I mean, the way I see it, it's out of compliance, and we don't really have much of a choice but to either agree with the liens or not. And if we're going to be consistent, I would move that we would accept the staff's recommendation on both of them and let the new buyer deal with it.
We don't have choice.
Just so that I can be clear, a new buyer would have to come to the county and ask for a lien reduction, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
So I mean, I meant that as a motion, not as a statement, so I moved to accept the staff's recommendation on both of those two claims.
Second.
Okay, we'll start with the first one, 24-14 CEB. The motion by Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Bates, accept staff's recommendation as presented. That would be to impose the lien as noted. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And then the next case is 24-15 CEB, same motion by the same parties to accept staff's recommendation as presented, finding that there was a violation. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that carries. And so that's where we ended up. And thank you for doing the best you could, I guess.
I apologize. I've never had to do this before. How do I pay that? How do I?
We can't give you legal
Okay.
advice. You have to talk to the inspector.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, and that brings us back to the original order. There's nobody else that has come in, is there, that has a case that wants to be heard? No? Okay, so,
What's left on your agenda is item 2 on page 1, and items 6, 7, and 8 on pages 3, 4, and 5.
so we'll start with item 2 on page 1. That's case number 24-36 CEB Ruby Smith, Jimmy Smith, and Johnny Day Jr., 1257 Depew Street, Altamont Springs, 32701. Officer Adair, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Dares, Seminole County Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 24-36-CEB. The respondents are Ruby and Jimmy Smith and Johnny Day Jr. I'm going to hand a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to the clerk as Exhibit A. This violation is located at 1257 Depew Street in Seminole County, Florida. The violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E, abandoned or junked vehicles. My initial inspection was on December 14th, 2023. Notices to respondents were December 28th, 2023, and January 11th, 2024. Compliance dates were January 11th, 2024, and January 25th, 2024. The follow-up inspections were as follows, and my last one was yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. The results were that the junked and abandoned vehicles remain on the property. So these two images show my initial inspection on December 14th, 2023. You can see the junked vehicles all throughout the yard. Follow-up inspection on December 18th, nothing's changed. Another follow-up on January 11th, same results, nothing's changed. January 26th, vehicles in the same locations. This is date of posting on May 10th, 2024. And this is the recent photo from yesterday. The vehicles still remain. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 24-36-CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Ruby and Jimmy Smith and Johnny Day Jr., is are the owner of record of property located at 1257 Depew Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser records, is in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E. It is further recommended that the board issue an order for the respondents to correct the violation on or before midnight of June 7th, 2024. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove, repair, or place inoperable vehicles inside a garage or permitted attached carport. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact me to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions, Officer Adair?
Yeah, have you spoken with these homeowners, and if so, what did they say?
I spoke with Mr. Johnny Day on the day the initial inspection. He called me back and was like, "Oh, I'm 86 years old, but I'm going to work towards compliance. You have nothing to worry about." Then I believe he called me a month or two after, same story, asking for more time. It's like, "But I'll get it done." And then I haven't heard from him since. And then Alexis informed me today that he would not be able to make it due to medical reasons, I think.
And just out of curiosity, why don't we get the pictures from the same vantage point each visit? In other words, I can see the vehicle with nothing in the front at all. I mean, there's not even a motor in there in half of the pictures, but not in the other half because it's taken from a different vantage point where you can't really see that section of the property.
That's something I could work to better show for you guys next time. There's no answer to it.
Thank you.
Does anyone live at the property?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay,
So you haven't spoken to the Smiths, only to Mr. Ray, Dave?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
the recommendation is compliance by June 7th or a $100 a day fine.
Move the officer's recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bates, second by Ms. Townsend to accept staff's recommendation, finding there is a violation, setting a compliance date of June 7th, 2024, or a $100 a day fine from that point forward. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Takes care of that one. Then on page 3, item number 6, lien request 23-43 CEB Shannon and Diana Macht, 3046 Holiday Avenue, Apopka, Florida 32703. Officer Adair.
Can we make a motion to warm the room up?
Awful. I thought Dudley would offer me his jacket, but he didn't. I was just harassing him.
Whenever you're ready, Officer Adair.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 23-43-CEB. The respondents are Shannon and Diane Macht. Going to present a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to the clerk as Exhibit A. This violation is located at 3046 Holiday Ave in Seminole County, Florida. The violation charge, Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E, abandoned or junk vehicles. The initial inspection for this was on April 27th, 2023 by Vincent Bavaro. The code board order date was December 22nd, 2023, and the follow-up inspections since that were December 27th, 2023, May 10th, 2024, and yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. Results are the junk abandoned vehicles still remain on the property. So this was the initial inspection by Vincent Bavaro on April 27th, 2023. Shows the flat tire on the Explorer. Another photo by Mr. Bavaro on May 24th, 2023. Same thing, a photo from Mr. Bavaro on 6/21/2023. Same thing, Mr. Bavaro provided this photo on 7/11/2023. Same thing, another inspection done by Mr. Bavaro on 9/14/2023. This is I believe the initial posting by Mr. Bavaro on 11/20/2023. Follow-up inspection after the hearing on December 27, 2023. This was the lien posting I provided on May 10th, 2024. And this is a current inspection of yesterday. Results haven't changed, but you see the posting's been removed and that the respondent has threw out the trash in their front yard. Suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-43-CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Shannon and Diane Macht, are the owner of record of the property located at 3046 Holiday Ave, located in Seminole County as determined by the property appraiser records, is in possession of control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E. It is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the findings of fact, conclusion, law, and order issued on December 23rd, 2023, I am requesting that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $15,300 for 153 days of non-compliance from December 23rd, 2023 through and including May 23rd, 2024, at $100 per day. And the fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after May 23rd, 2024. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions, Officer, or Mr. Bates?
Officer, have you had any contact with either of the respondents? in
I
this
have
case?
not, no, and when I took this case over from Vinnie, I don't believe he has either.
So we're totally in the dark as to why this has been just sitting there with no response, no action,
Correct.
nothing.
Does it appear that anybody lives in the house? Other than the garbage being in the front of it?
I can't attest to that because I haven't done the previous inspections. Off the two, I've seen windows open, so I do believe someone's living in there.
Excuse me, so this has been going on over a year. I noticed there's a license tag on the vehicle. Do you by any chance know if it's up to date?
I have not looked into that, but I can.
Okay.
I move to accept the staff's recommendation, impose the lien exactly as the staff has recommended.
Second.
Yeah.
Motion by Mr. Brooks. Ross. I'm sorry.
Brooks is my cousin.
Second by Mr. Bates
That's his other alias.
to accept staff's recommendation as presented, imposing the lien for $15,300, and the fines will continue to accrue. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carries, and it brings us to the next case on the next page, item 7, 23-44 CEB Horace Mack Air, care of Crystal Bailey, 128 Leon Street, Altamont Springs, 32701. Officer Adair.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region. This is case number 23-44-CEB. Respondents Horace Mack and CO Crystal Bailey. Going to present a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to the clerk as Exhibit A. This violation is located at 128 Leon Street, Seminole County, Florida. The violation charge is Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 11, as defined in Section 30.182, uses permitted. Storage on a vacant parcel is not permitted use in R1 zoning district. So the initial inspection was conducted by Vincent Bavaro on April 26, 2023. The code board order date was March 8th, 2024, and follow-up inspections were March 11th, 2024, and May 10th, 2024. Results of the follow-up inspection, the unpermitted use violation no longer remains on the property. This was initial inspection by Vincent Bavaro on May 17th, 2023. A follow-up inspection by Vincent Bavaro on June 8th, 2023. Follow-up by Officer Bavaro on October 20th, 2023. This was his initial posting, I believe, on February 6th, 2024. This was a follow-up when I took the case over from him on March 11th, 2024. Shows the boats and vehicles are still there. And this is the most recent photo from May 10th. It shows that the lot's been cleared. The suggested recommendation by me is based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-44-CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Horace Mack and CO Crystal Bailey, are the owner of record of the property located at 128 Leon Street, located in Seminole County as determined by the property appraiser records, is in possession or control of the property, and was in violation of Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 11, as defined in 30.1 82. It is further recommended that, based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law and order issued on February 22nd, 2023, I'm requesting the Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $6,300 for 63 days of non-compliance from March 9th, 2024 through and including May 10th, 2024 at $100 per day. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for us right there? Mr. Bates?
Same question, officer. Have you had any contact with this respondent? And the second part of that is the place occupied, people in there?
So to answer your first one, no, I have not had contact with them. And the second question is a vacant lot, so there's no one living there.
Okay.
And it is in compliance now.
Correct.
Can you tell me why this item says Horace Mack Air, care of Crystal Bailey? Is that because the previous owner died, or?
I believe so. I think Horace Mack, I believe his father passed, but his son has the same name. I think that's what was going on.
And do you know when this property came into compliance?
On my inspection on May 10th.
But you don't know when the vehicles were removed? They were not removed in the March inspection?
Correct.
And they
I don't-
were removed in the May
Correct.
inspection? Thank you.
Just a couple observations here. One, somebody mentioned already, it's in compliance. And what has been done many times in the past is when we get a case like this and it's in compliance, you'll notice right above the recommendation line is the administrative costs. And so sometimes in these particular cases when they're brought in compliance, there might be a motion to reduce it to administrative costs if it's paid within a certain number of days, a calendar date, or it reverts back to that. That's one option. I'll just throw it out there because I don't think we've done that since some of you have been here. The other one is in regard, and I don't know why it says air next to it, but this Horace Mack family has been here several times over the years. I'm surprised they're not here now, but it sounds like that they've just made this, they've cleaned it up and made it into a lot and cleaned it up. So just for whatever that's worth, they're not here, but we are able to consider, if the board's pleasure, administrative costs in lieu of the fine. However, we would normally say if it's not paid X amount of days, and it reverts back.
Just for your information, it's listed that way because that's how it's listed on the property appraiser's site. Mac, Horace, Air, and then the mailing address is care of Bailey Crystal. So that's why it's listed that way.
I'd just like to point out that if someone did make a motion to go with the administrative cost, and if not paid by a certain time, reverting back to the findings of a $6,300 lien, I mean, we don't even know for sure when these people came into compliance other than for this May 10th inspection. I mean, it could have been May 9th, it could have been March 10th. So I'd just like to point that out to the board.
Well, but that's why the order clearly says to the respondent, as soon as you believe you're in compliance, you reach out to us and let us know. So that, officer.
I would move, I mean, I don't think it makes any sense to reduce the cost if nobody's here to hear it and say it's going to revert to $6,300 in 60 days or 90 days. No one's here listening to it, so I would just move to accept the staff's recommendation or not. I would move to accept the staff's recommendation. If they want to get it reduced, they can come and show up.
I'll second that.
I can't go for that.
He second.
Yeah,
okay.
we have a
I'll second
Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Davis. Get it right here in a minute. Further discussion, Ms. Townsend, did you have anything? None?
I wouldn't be in favor of that.
Okay, anything else? Okay, all in favor for that, and that's imposing the recommended lien of $6,300 and continuing at $100 a day from this point forward.
Well, no,
if
it's in compliance, so it stops.
Oh, it's income,
Yeah.
sure, okay. So it would be imposing the lien for $6,300. No other discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
No.
All right, you got to raise your hands. Do it again. No, all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Wow, I haven't had this ever.
It's been a long time since
It's been a long time, hold
Oh,
on.
we stalemated ourselves.
So,
He's got a coin.
oh, no, there's the Roberts Rules of Order, right? I mean, it's
If
Robert's
it's
Rules.
3-3, the motion fails. I mean,
Or somebody can make an
No, I
alternative
think Robert's
motion.
Rules
time
of
for a new
Order
motion.
say
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
the chairman gets a second vote. What is your, come on. You and I are talking, I don't remember the you. Yeah, who knows the Robert's Rules of Order?
3-3, the motion fails.
The motion, I thought you were supposed to come up with a second, a different
Now it's time for a
alternative.
new motion.
Hold on.
And I'll move that we, I move that we fine them the administrative cost of $538.05, or, I'm sorry,
638.
was item 7?
Yeah, it's 538.
538.05.
You're right.
And should that not be satisfied within 90 days, it would revert to the lien amount of $6,300.
Second.
All right, give me a date for the 90 days, please.
August 20, no, excuse me, August 21st, 2024.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we have a new motion. Mr. Simon, motion to reduce the fine amount to the administrative cost of $538.05 as long as it's paid by August 21st, is that what I said? August, I'm sorry. Paid by September, no, August 21st.
If you were saying 90, it'd be August 21st.
Yes, thank you. So the motion is reduce it to administrative costs paid by August 21st, 2024, or it reverts back to the recommended amount of $6,300. Everybody okay, understand that? And that was a motion by Mr. Simon, second by Ms. Townsend. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Mr. Davis was a nay. And concludes that particular case. Brings us to next page, page number 5. It's item number 8. Case number 24-02 CEB Howard C. Clinton, 101 Hollyhock Drive, Altamont Springs, Florida, 32701. Officer Adair.
Code Enforcement Officer Cameron Adair, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, South Region, case number 24-02-CEB, respondent Howard C. Clinton. Going to present a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to clerk as Exhibit A. The violation is located at 101 Hollyhock Drive, Seminole County, Florida. Violation charged, Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 70, as defined in Section 30.1349E, fence requirements. All fences shall be maintained in their upright original condition. So, the initial inspection was on June 7th, 2023. The code board order date was on March 8th, 2024. Follow-up inspections since the order date are March 11th, 13th, August 2nd, 2023, March 22nd, 2024, May 10th, and yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. The results in the inspection, the dilapidated fence violation no longer remains on the property. This is the original inspection date showing the dilapidated fence. August 22nd, or 27th, 2023. This is another inspection on July 18th, 2023, showing the same fence. Same thing. Fence still remains dilapidated on 8/29/2023. So October 11th, 2023, same thing. This was the original posting date, showing the fence back in February 6, 2024. This is February 21st, 2024, the fence same condition. This is March 11th. The correction date was supposed to be March 8th, I believe. The fence still remains dilapidated. This was the lien posting on May 10th, 2024, same condition. And this is yesterday's inspection, May 22nd, 2024. They erected a new fence. Suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 24-02-CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Howard C. Clinton, are the owner of record of the property located at 101 Hollyhock Drive, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser records, is in possession or control of the property, and was in violation of Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 70, as defined in Section 30.1349E. It is further recommended that, based on the findings of fact, conclusion, and law and order issued on February 22nd, 2024, I am requesting the Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $3,750 for 75 days of non-compliance from March 9th, 2024 through and including May 22nd, 2024 at $50 per day. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Adair?
I have a question actually for Yvette.
Oh,
And
yes.
this isn't because of the other vote we just had, and I'm assuming we're going to do the same thing. If we, like the other one, we reduced it down to administrative costs, and you're giving somebody who's not here, who doesn't comply, 90 days to comply, they're not going to even know they have the 90 days to comply, and we're going to increase it anyway, which I think is a waste of time for us to do. But how does that work? Because you record a lien, does that mean the clerk has to re-record the lien to increase it?
So this property is in compliance.
Correct. So was the
So-
other one, but we reduced it to the administrative costs, and then we gave the person 90 days to pay the cost, or it would go up. How does
Or
that
it
lien work?
reverts back to the original amount.
Correct.
They're going to hold off on filing the lien for the 90 days.
Got it.
And so once they either have payment, or if they get payment, as soon as they get that reduced payment, then there's no lien, right?
Right.
If they don't get it on the 91st day, they go ahead and record it at the full amount.
So they just hold off? Okay,
Yeah,
I just
they
wanted to
just-
see if we're doing extra work.
Yeah.
And how does that notification occur, do you know?
What notification?
Of that they were fined an administrative cost?
They're going to get a copy of the order. Order's going to be sent
It
to
will be
them.
mailed to the residents?
Just like they got notice of today's hearing and chose not to be here. Right?
That's kind of my point.
Right. I mean, that's the whole situation, is they could be here to explain their situation. They chose not to, but now they'll get a copy of your decision as well.
I mean, we don't know why they're not here. Perhaps they.
Can I interject on that?
A job.
I believe the property owner passed in March, so his son's been taking the care of the property. He called me once, I called him, I left a voicemail, never heard from him since. So it was the neighbor who actually gave me his phone number.
I mean, it's possible that, I mean, these people have a job that they can't just leave in the middle of a Thursday afternoon
agree.
to sit through a code enforcement board meeting.
Oh, but they can also reach out to the clerk at any time or reach out to the inspector at any time and explain that they can't be here.
And we
So-
also can't just assume excuses, because then we would have to excuse every single person that can't be here, and we haven't done that in the past, and that's kind of, you know, we can't selectively decide and make excuses for someone. We have to accept that they're here or they're not
Right.
and stuff. So I'm going to assume we're going to do the same thing as last time. That's why I asked the question, so I don't mind moving to accept administrative costs with the 90-day period and let it revert into the full amount if it's not going to create unnecessary work for the clerk. That was mostly my concern, is creating unnecessary work for the clerk's office.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Ross, I believe,
Yes.
second by Mr. Simon to assess recommendation.
The administrative costs.
However, reducing it to the administrative cost of $554.26 to be paid within the same calendar date.
August 21st, 2024.
Thank you so much. Where it reverts back to the original requested amount, which is $3,750. All understood? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Mr. Davis? Okay, Mr. Davis is nay. Motion carries. And I think that might be our last one. Case is not heard unless I missed it. Yeah.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the April 25 meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Ms. Townsend to approve the minutes from our April 25th, 2024 meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next meeting date, we have June 27th. That's right, you're not going to your June thing, right? So we'll have a meeting. Normally, every June, they go to a conference, an annual conference, but it's not happening this year. Anything else? Any other business anybody has before we adjourn? Motion to adjourn.
Nay, no, I'm just kidding.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Okay. Thank you. It's done.
Love y'all, but I gotta go fall out.